Breaking news. Chargers fans. The countdown is over. Training camp has officially begun, and all eyes are on Los Angeles. Today, we dive into a must-watch report. Which Chargers veterans on offense and defense are under the most pressure heading into the 2025 season? But before we break it all down, quick reminder. If you're a true Chargers fan, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to smash the bell icon so you never miss a major update from Bolt Nation. Now, let's get to the news you've been waiting for. The road to the Super Bowl is steep, and the pressure is building. Will Justin Herbert rise to the challenge? Can the new offensive weapons finally click? And which defensive leaders must step up or step aside? We're breaking it all down right now. And trust me, this is not the season for excuses. Let's talk about the players who must deliver if the Chargers want to raise that Lombardi trophy in 2025. Now let's talk about the offensive firepower surrounding Justin Herbert, because the pressure isn't just on the quarterback. The Chargers have quietly assembled one of the most well-rounded offensive units in the league, and that means expectations are sky-high. Let's start with the tight end room. Veteran Tyler Conklin brings experience and toughness, but the real spotlight might soon shift to Oronde Gadsden. He's raw, but the upside is undeniable. If he sharpens his blocking and becomes more consistent as a pass catcher, he could become a surprise weapon for this offense, someone defenses aren't game planning for yet. Now look at the running back duo. With Najee Harris and Aubrey and Hampton in the mix, the Chargers finally have a backfield built for both power and versatility. Add that to a retooled offensive line that includes Mekhi Becton, and you're looking at an entirely new offensive dynamic. Last season, the run game leaned left. But now, thanks to Becton's presence, Herbert finally has balance. The right side of the line becomes a real threat, opening up the entire playbook and creating new lanes for the run game. This is how you protect your franchise quarterback. And don't overlook the tight end depth. Yes, Will Dissly was labeled a blocking tight end, but what he showed last season proved otherwise. He played above expectations, quietly becoming one of the most dependable contributors. It's surprising to see analysts still underrate him. So now, Herbert has weapons across the board. Reliable tight ends, dual threat backs, an improved O-line, and a receiving core full of playmakers. But here's the catch. No more excuses. This offense is built to succeed. That means the pressure squarely lands on Justin Herbert, the leader of this unit. It's time to perform. And speaking of pressure, Zion Johnson is feeling it too. The team declined his fifth-year option, and now he's caught between two positions, left guard or center. That uncertainty is a signal. This is a prove-it year. The Chargers are watching closely, and Johnson needs to deliver wherever they place him. Let's stay in the trenches and talk about a key position shift that could define the Chargers' offensive line in 2025, and that's Zion Johnson at center. Now, this is a bold move. Zion has the size, intelligence, and athletic build, but center is a completely different challenge. He hasn't played the position in college, and certainly not at the NFL level. And yet, the Chargers are handing him the keys to one of the most critical roles on the field. Why? Because center is the brain of the O-line. It's not just about snapping the ball. It's about reading the defense, adjusting protections, and anchoring the interior against elite pass rushers. Yes, the Chargers do have a contingency in Bradley Bozeman, who could slide into that spot if needed. But the front office clearly wants to see if Zion can own it. And make no mistake, with his fifth-year option declined, the message is clear. Prove it. But here's the upside. Zion won't be alone. He'll have Mekhi Becton lining up next to him, offering veteran power and experience on the right. That stability could help ease Zion's transition. If he can lock in mentally, the physical tools are already there. What will really matter is how Zion performs once the pads come on. Preseason reps will be key, and head coach Jim Harbaugh has already said that the first 8 to 10 practices will shape the interior O-line lineup. All eyes are on Zion, and it's his job to win or lose. Now, let's flip to the defensive side of the ball, because another young star is stepping into a massive role. Tuli Tupelotu. Last year, he was forced into action after Joey Bosa went down, and he delivered, leading the team in sacks. But this season, the expectations are no longer surprising anyone. This year, Tupelotu isn't a depth piece, he's the starter. He's lining up opposite Bosa, and the pressure is on. Behind him, the depth chart features Bud Dupree and Kyle Kennard, both solid, but neither guaranteed to take over if Tuli stumbles. That means Tupelotu has to become more than just a fill-in or flash player. He has to be a three-down edge threat, a run stopper, a quarterback chaser, and a tone setter for this entire defensive front. If the Chargers want to dominate in 2025, Tupelotu must evolve from promising to proven. And based on what we saw last season, he's ready for that lead. But now it's time to do it under a spotlight that won't dim. Let's keep the pressure dialed up, because Tuli Tupelotu isn't just expected to fill a role, he's expected to dominate. This year, Tupelotu steps into the spotlight as a full-time starting edge rusher opposite Khalil Mack. No more learning curve. No more easing into snaps. This is his position now, and he's expected to produce like it. There's no question about the raw talent. We saw flashes last season when he stepped in for an injured Joey Bosa, and those flashes turned into real production, leading the team in sacks. But being productive in rotation is a different world from being the guy on the edge for a full 17-game season. Now, Tuli must become a game changer, someone that offensive coordinators fear, and with contract talks on the horizon, this year could be pivotal for his future in powder blue. A double-digit sack season? That's the path to becoming a long-term cornerstone of this defense. Coach Jim Harbaugh and DC Jesse Minter believe in him, and if he delivers, Tupelotu could go from rising talent to Pro Bowl force. The opportunity is there. The moment is now. Now let's shift inside to a position group that raises more questions than answers. The interior defensive line. And the man at the center of it all? Terez Tartt. Chargers fans should know this name well. Originally let go by the Dolphins, Tartt found his way to Los Angeles last season and instantly made his presence felt. He's aggressive, physical, and disruptive. He plays with an edge that perfectly fits the Harbaugh identity. Now, re-signed and returning with a full offseason in Jesse Minter's system, Tartt isn't just part of the rotation. He's expected to be the leader of this interior D-line unit. And that's where the pressure starts to rise. Why? Because this is still one of the least proven position groups on the roster. If the Chargers are going to stop the run and collapse the pocket up the middle, Tartt has to anchor the unit every single down. We already know what he brings: toughness, tenacity, and relentless energy. But this season, he has to bring it with consistency. He has to set the tone. He has to be the enforcer. If Terez Tartt plays to his ceiling, this front seven gets scary. If not, that interior could be the crack opponent's target every week. So let's keep the focus where it belongs, the heart of the defensive line, and the man expected to command it, Terez Tartt. Tartt enters 2025 as the veteran voice and physical anchor of the Chargers' interior defense. At 6'2", 304 pounds, he's a powerhouse built to absorb double teams and collapse pockets. And this season, the expectations have multiplied. Last year, in limited snaps, Tartt posted a 76.9 puff grade, ranking 14th among all interior defensive linemen. He logged just 349 snaps, but still managed 16 pressures and 20 tackles. And that's without a full workload. In 2025, his snap count is expected to double or even triple. And with that comes a demand for consistency, endurance, and leadership. And let's be honest, the defensive line behind him is still taking shape. The Chargers have brought in potential role players like Deshaun Hand, Otito Ogbonnia, and Scott Matlock. There's also rookie Jamari Caldwell, a physical prospect who could complement Tartt if he develops fast enough. But until someone else rises up, this is Tartt's room to lead. There's pressure, no doubt. But if Tartt can stay healthy and maintain that level of physicality across a full season, he could quietly become one of the most important defenders on this roster. Now, a few younger names deserve a mention, players who may not be veterans, but are entering critical seasons for their future. Justin Eboigbe, after shaking off the rookie rust, expectations are rising. Junior Colson, the rookie linebacker, comes in with high praise from Coach Harbaugh, and there's real buzz about his football IQ. R.J. Mickens, while not a lock for the 53-man roster, his versatility in the secondary could make him a surprise contributor. But when it comes to veterans under pressure, the spotlight stays on just 4 names: Justin Herbert, Zion Johnson, Tuli Tupelotu, and Terez Tartt. These are the players whose performances will define whether the Chargers make a real playoff push or fall short. The roster is deep. The coaching staff is proven. Now it's up to these guys to lead the way, with no excuses left.